Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 2 here of the GSL Super Tournament. I'm Tasos, joined with me is State, and I'm excited to move on and wrap up today and eventually move to the next phase of the Super Tournament.
Yeah, I'm excited too, and we have a stellar lineup today as well. We actually have a rematch for the DreamHack Finals. Here is the first map to start things out here at day 2 of Super Tournament, which is just insane, right? I mean,
it's
herO and Bunny.
Funny that this happens from time to time, where we can leave one major event like DreamHack and go right into a Super Tournament with those two players pinned against each other here now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting match. That DreamHack Finals was, in my opinion, one of the best StarCraft 2 finals we've had in a really long time.
Sure.
Bunny got that early 3-1 lead, and then herO clawed his way back. It was, I mean, they both fought tooth and nail for every single map win, and you know, it's kind of interesting now that on the grand final stage, they kind of showed everything that they had, and now they have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and like kind of figure out how are we going to surprise our opponents, what strategies are we going to bring to the table.
Yeah, that's one of the funny things is when you've really had to like give everything that you possibly have in that matchup, only to then have to try once again to figure out, okay, like what else do I have? Do I take what I've learned from those last couple games? Do I try to recycle some builds? Do I come up with something new? So this is a tough one to call here for who's going to really take this. By the way, guys, at the bottom of your screen here, information about the finals. That's going to be a week from today. So GSL Super Tournament right now for this year follows the normal GSL Codes schedule of Monday and then Thursday, 5 p.m. instead of 6:30 p.m. The finals are going to be here in this studio. It is on a first-come, first-served basis. It's different from some of our GSL Codes finals. So if you want to be here, you just need to be here before other people are here.
Yeah, and admission is free, so just show up, get a spot, enjoy
not even $5, $10, not even that.
Yeah, enjoy the final StarCraft 2 action of this year.
Yeah, this is it before we start a whole nother year of StarCraft 2 for 2023. But I would recommend you come down here. Super Tournament always starts out light, and it gets pretty packed by the end. So you'll see some shots of our audience here. We've got a reasonable amount of people in here now, but on finals days, people do get turned away at the door. So if you're serious about coming down, I'd recommend you try to come a little bit earlier.
Yeah. And today's matchups, herO versus Bunny, of course, going to be match number 1 here today. And besides that, a lot of other interesting matches, like DRG versus Ryung. These are 2 old-school players that have been with StarCraft 2 from the very beginning. Dark versus Sue, some former SKT Zergs going head-to-head. And RagnaroK and herO to finish things off here. GSL finalist and one of the best Terrans in the world. It's going to be a great day.
It's going to be really good. Now, last Super Tournament day, I guess day 1, better said, we had some pretty one-sided matches. I was a little bit taken aback by that. Normally, the best part of a best-of-5 is you really get to explore all the different ways the 2 players can approach each other. But we had some extremely one-sided sets. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen here. But sometimes in a round of 16, for instance, you do have to weed out the weaker players. And you can see that done in a very pronounced way.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have as fast a day here as we did on day 1. I don't even know if that's possible. We had like 3 3-0s, I think, and a 3-1 or something crazy like that. And some really stellar matchups like herO versus Bunny. I can't wait to get into this one and talk about it because, I mean, these 2 players, not only are they the top of their respective races, but also they kind of have a history together. There was a stretch of about 10 months from November of last year until September of this year where herO did not lose a single series against Bunny. You know, Bunny would take a map here and there, but he would never take a series. And then suddenly, in October or September this year, it felt like something kind of started to click for Bunny. He played a little bit more aggressive, and that aggression started to work. He started to take set wins. And even in the grand finals of DreamHack, he was up to 3-1. I mean, if that was a best-of-5, he would be the champion.
Yeah, he would have been out already.
And he did it with some interesting strategies, too. Like, we saw a lot more 2-Rax Reaper play out of him to really great effect. He was getting a ton of probe kills. Like, I mean, how often do we really see 3 Reapers early on, like multiple times in a best-of-X series, you know?
And how often do we really see herO get harassed? Normally, he's always on the offense. It's really up to players, excuse me, up to players trying to stop herO before he can really finish off whatever his plans are. And so this is going to be that rematch we were talking about, from the finals in Atlanta. herO versus Bunny. This is going to be so fun. Again, they really had some time to test each other out, and coming back into another best-of-5, again, a long series. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. And if it's going to be similar to what we saw in the previous games, or there's more tricks up their sleeves. Not each other's sleeves. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Up their sleeves. Anyways, guys, game 1, herO vs. Bunny starts now. Tricks up each other's sleeves. That's one of my worst.
I didn't even catch that until you said something about it.
No, that's not right.
I mean, you just said the words. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right to me, Tasteless.
Yeah, I was almost there.
Hit the nail on the head.
Bunny.
But yeah, I am so interested in what these two decide to open with here in this best-of-5 series. I mean, it's not even like you're going from a best-of-7 to a best-of-3, right? Like, as you said earlier, usually one of the joys of Super Tournament in a best-of-5 is you kind of get into a deep dive in a matchup with 2 highly skilled players. And, I mean, we just had that like 2 weeks ago with these guys, right? And now they're doing it again here in another best-of-5. And see the match history there on your screen. herO, of course, with the overall edge, but lately Bunny, I mean, he's been playing really well against herO. I think he won a couple of series against him leading up into that DreamHack Finals.
And Bunny's really worked so hard to get to where he is, especially with these other players from Calgary. Welcome.
Welcome, you guys.
Glad you guys could make it.
So it's a long trip.
I know, it's a very long trip from Calgary, man. So good to have all you guys here in the studio. But yeah, Bunny really put a lot of hard work into getting to where he is. The Korea region, obviously there are so many good players, and Bunny, he's been around forever, right? If you follow GSL, he's definitely a guy you're familiar with. But I love how even at the end of this year, he's gotten, he's leveled up yet again. And so, if he could take herO out here now, it's really going to change the way we have to view this whole bracket for Super Tournament Season 2.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be a Terran fan. I mean, Maro just winning G5L, and it feels like almost every single Korean Terran just gets a little bit better than their peers of the other races every year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as you said, Bunny's been working so hard for so long and almost won his very first championship just a couple of weeks ago. And we'll see. I mean, he's got to be riding a little bit of momentum coming out of that DreamHack, although he didn't win it. I mean, that's his best place in a Premier Finish tournament, I think, ever, if I'm not mistaken. So who knows? Maybe he's going to come here and close that out with a GSL Super Tournament win. Maybe herO's going to try and go for a back-to-back tournament win. It's so much at stake for both of these guys.
One of the funny things with herO is, like, when you compare him to most other players, like a lot of players, they have to do their military service, and then they come back, and they're usually a very different version of themselves.
Right.
You go away. I think is it 18 months now, or is it still 2 years? Or it might depend on the type of service you do.
Yeah. I'm not sure, actually.
But, yeah, these guys go away, and, a lot of them, they don't have time to train, or some players just don't come back, or don't come back until years after the military service is done.
Or they try to come back and they struggle for a long time, as we've seen.
That's usually what
happens in GSL.
But then herO came back, and it's like he looked even better than before, which is just sort of kind of a funny moment. And it seems to be in his best form yet. And before he left to do his military service, he already looked pretty damn scary.
He was already one of the best Pro Toss players in the world, and then to come back from military service, and I think maybe even within a year, win like the first GSL in how many years for a Pro Toss player? It must have been like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Just something crazy. It's phenomenal what we've seen from him, and it's no small feat either, as you said. So many players, like, they come out of military service and they don't look the same, or it takes them a long time to get back up to where they were before, but herO better than ever. I don't know how he did it. Maybe he got some new perspective. Maybe the break was good for him, but oh man, look at this base.
oh, that's so funny. For a second, I almost like had the map upside down in my mind when I saw that base being taken. So this is very odd. This almost looks like a really old StarCraft 1 game where the Protoss would take a third base somewhere like another main.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I was thinking it kind of looks like a lot of herO's other games, except he does this at the gold base, and this time he's doing it at a blue mineral base.
This is so funny. So, generally speaking, it's no secret that normally people, they try to take their third base close to their second. And if you take a hidden base, usually it would be like, let's say on a map where it's like a one-on-one map, but there's you're both sharing the top, right? And you could take like the very bottom center, or just one of these places that's hard to scout.
It's further away from your opponent too, right? So there's an advantage there,
right? So this is like odd and honestly fascinating, because I'm almost scared he just chased that Hellion into the base. Is this going to see it?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I almost feel like you have to play a weird mind game where you leave the Hellion alone, so it never goes and checks there. So, what's funny is, oh, and look at that's how he uses it. He just sends the probes like that.
That's how you do it every single time. It's nice.
Yeah.
Protoss is the only race that could actually do that, where you don't really need to transfer workers or like slowly saturate a new base.
Yeah, there's no giveaway, right?
Unless like he scans or goes for like a Widow Mine drop and sees like less than normal probes in the main or the natural. But
and
yeah.
that would be a tough thing to look for in the moment, right?
But yeah, you're hitting on a great point where this is just kind of unusual, and I think we're kind of entering this really weird area where like these guys, as we said, just gave it their all in a best-of-7 series that went to map 7. And so now it's like, all right, how do I surprise them now?
I mean, they basically played all their strategies out earlier on.
And this is so exciting because Bunny, like, he scouted this, and it's a later than normal third base, right? So maybe he's thinking, I should play on the back foot. I should be a little bit more defensive because maybe herO is kind of adding his production before this third base and leading up to a timing attack. But actually, it's the opposite, where this is a really fast fourth base coming out from herO, is that 5 o'clock base is still unscouted.
So hidden bases were more common in StarCraft 1. They still are more common. Like you'll probably see like at least one ASL game a season where like something that almost looks exactly like this happens. The problem is if you don't scout the hidden base in StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2, then you have a bad read on where they are at. So you might think that you're ahead or even when in fact you're not. Now that being said, this is a 2-base push where right now it's it in fact is herO going up to 4 bases. So this push could actually still kill herO.
Yeah, this is a really scary push, and herO going for this fast 4th base and Colossus as well means that he doesn't have Blink or Thermal Lance for about half a minute left. At least on the Thermal Lance, Blink is even further away, so force field control gonna have to be critical here. Buddy's stimming in, immediately disables the Colossus, and man, he's pouncing on this position.
Yeah, force field's there, but I mean, what does that really solve? He's gonna be able to lock in some of those units. I guess the Colossus could try to kite there and do whatever damage he can do. The more the infantry gets thinned out, the better a spot it is going to be for the Protoss here. And I think perhaps the slightest overextension here from Bunny, but now it looks like we're going to see herO try to stick it to him once more here. The Colossus disabled again.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the gateway units and support units going out. So this Colossus all the way up here, the natural expansion is completely defenseless. Bio stimming in, not only takes down the Colossus, but 15 probes, and now herO scrambling to defend outside of his natural expansion, but the Bio is coming back, and I don't know if herO's going to have enough.
I don't know how well this infantry can try to pursue this one Colossus. One Colossus still makes the math a lot more fuzzy on how this fight can go, especially when there's this many Marines. Oh, sorry, a second Colossus up here, perched up on this ledge. I think that actually herO barely survives this. Maybe Bunny loops around up north and tries to go into the main.
He might, but this is kind of going back to what you said earlier, where Bunny might not have a very good idea on what the actual game state is, because he's just killed 30 probes, but it's only a 5-worker lead now for Bunny. So he might kind of rest on his laurels just a little bit, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be happening. Bunny, he's a very aggressive Terran player. He wants to pounce on this opportunity while he can, and he's going to continue to pressure this third base.
Now he's going to come down here and try to push in once more. The Raven doesn't have the energy to disable a Colossus just yet, which really doesn't leave a lot of room here. In fact, there's going to be a lot more additional shots that are going to be just dealt onto this infantry. And even though right now herO's barely hanging on, the reality is that Bunny's not really getting into a spot that's going to be comfortable here. The longer he goes without finding that base, and I don't see why he would find that base now if he hasn't found it already, the worse this could get. But it looks like there's an opening here now. Bunny's going to try to dive up into this natural area. Now he could maybe even kill off the workers here and go into the main.
Looks like that's what he's doing. He takes down a lot of workers here already. 5 going down as he kites into the main base. herO kind of scrambling to try and get control of that ramp, but all this Bio coming in. Will he be able to snipe the Robo? Actually going to turn and fight these gateway units as they come up. But this Bio, it's very low on HP. Yet another disable goes down as I think Bunny's going to quickly evacuate from this location, just getting every inch of damage he can. Oh man, even the Colossus, it's not controlled there, so disable causes it to A-move into its death.
Okay, you know what? I think actually Bunny might be able to take this now, especially with that Colossus going down. I think there's just not quite enough.
Yeah, herO just a little bit behind on tempo, especially losing that Colossus is very painful. But, I mean, now he does have Blink, he does have Charge, so if he's able to get up enough of a force, he might be able to stabilize here. But with a medevac count as high as it is, he's going to be hard-pressed to win this next engagement.
Yeah, 2 Colossi are still in here. The medevac energy, by the way, going to start getting pretty low here. There's going to be definitely a lot to try to heal up. Zealots are going to spill out into the front now. The Vikings are going to chip away at this Colossus. No battery in sight to heal it.
And no battery. The natural expansion has another Colossus going down. Is this bio? It's very low on HP, but herO just doesn't have the firepower to actually take units down. He's chipping away at the units at the front, but I think we're finally reaching the tipping point.
Yeah, I think this is over, actually. And, you know, I got to say, I like the idea of what herO did, but, you know, 4 bases versus 2 bases. 4 bases is still 4 bases. That's still a lot. GG.
I mean, even at the end there, the worker counts were tied, but herO, I mean, he just didn't have enough to actually defend that timing push.
I think you need to make, like, a 4th Nexus and not even start making extra probes. I think you almost want to, like, goad them into attacking you.
That might be it.
And,
because keep in mind, like, he lost those 30 workers, and Bunny only had, like, a 5-worker lead or something after that.
Yeah.
So he was way ahead on Eco before that push happened. But herO laughing a little bit about that game.
Well, it's kind of fun that we were right about the weird strategies getting pulled out there, right? It's like, well, what else can I try to do against this guy? Moon Dance is where we're going to go now for map number 2. Bunny with that 1-0 lead here. I do wonder, I guess there's no way to check now, if Bunny actually goes into the replay and checks.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He might, because you know you have the score screen after you quit the game. You might just be able to tell from the worker count that, oh, something funny was going on there.
Do you find that you click through the score screen a lot? I always feel like
all
I just
the time.
exit.
Yeah.
Okay,
it tells such a big story.
Everybody's so different now. Like, I know some players, they, you know, never look at the replay, or they don't look at the replays when they should, and other players check, but maybe that was when Bunny was shaking his head when he realizes, oh, you took a another base. I didn't even know. Anyways, guys, game 2 is ready. Let's go.
Start. Protoss, herO. Terran, Bunny.
Such a fun opening strategy in that game number 1 from herO.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very cool. That was, you know, a real herO moment. Where I feel like herO is really kind of filling the shoes of SOS now. Even though it's not like he plays like SOS, it's sort of the crazy, eccentric stuff that he tries to pull off. I
think that if you want to be the best Protoss player in the world, which herO is, you kind of need to do this, right? You got to have like a little bit of flavor from everyone, because Protoss, it's not a race like Zerg where, you know, if you have all of your timings perfect, if you're, how do I want to phrase this? It's not like Zerg in that you can just kind of react to everything, and as long as you understand like what drone timings you need to respond to different things, what timings to get like your Zergling speed or roaches, as long as you understand the flow chart of the game, so to speak, you can play very well at the top level. Protoss, you kind of need to subvert the expectations of your opponent. You got to surprise them. You can't just rely on mechanics. I mean, occasionally in StarCraft 2, we will get a Protoss player that really can just play that macro game, but it's very rare. Stats, old school Rain, back before he retired, was another one that was, you know, the best in the world at doing this. And, I mean, this is 2022 StarCraft 2. Everyone is better than they were a year ago. They're much better than they were 5 years ago. And so herO just, I mean, he's so good at so many different styles. And I think having the flexibility and like the variance of openings, the kind of repertoire to be able to go and do a build like he did there in map number 1 is just one of many things that makes him the best Protoss player in the world. And
I think a lot of it comes back to the fact that when the Cybernetics Core finishes, you have these 3 different tech routes that are both, or I guess all are double-edged swords in one way or another, right? You're getting some powerful tech, but you're not getting something else, right? And so you get all these really kind of crazy ways that you can take a game. You know,
I don't think herO's getting warp gate. Okay, he's going for a very fast Stargate instead, but man, he's delayed his warp gate a bunch to do this.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm so used to just always assuming warp gate's like the first thing that's going to be made here. So this is another very interesting, kind of experimental build here.
Okay, he starts it now. For a moment there, I was wondering like, okay, at what point have we forgotten this?
Yeah, at what point is this no longer a strategy and actually just a mistake that we're watching unfold? Now, at the same time, Terran's going to get a starport over here at the 3 o'clock spot on the map, so just outside of herO's natural base.
Yeah, we'll see what Bunny decides to do with that, and Stargate can be a really nice response to this too for herO, as long as he's not caught off guard by like a Cloak Banshee, for example, but you know, proxying the starport like that, I'd be pretty surprised if he went for Cloak. I think it's much more likely to be some other unit, and yeah, a Phoenix immediately started, and it's going to be a Hellion there for a quick drop. Okay.
Yeah, now this could get pretty hairy here because right now, you know, they're both going to have units that can damage each other in each other's bases. The Adepts can't really do that much, but I guess this Hellion drop can't start until these Hellions can get over there. So they're going to go out now.
Oh, I wonder if herO actually saw him leave his base.
Okay, so he's going to.
Okay,
so he knows what this is.
Yeah, he should have a pretty good idea. The one thing I'm not sure if he's aware of is the starport. He might be expecting these guys to run into the natural expansion. Yeah, I'm looking at the minimap. He might be setting up a wall right now, at least building one gateway. But the medevac is here, so these Hellions are going to die very quickly. This probe line's completely exposed, Tasteless.
Yeah, this is pretty bad, man. He's coming in here now. The probes are still lined up. A Phoenix picks up a Hellion back there, but 3 Hellions are still dishing out more and more damage.
Luckily, there is a battery here in the main base, so only 7 probes going to go down, but that's a lot of damage here to Protoss, who...
Oh,
man.
Oh, man. Did he just lose all the Adepts?
I think he lost 2 out of 3 there.
I almost got confused, by the way. I forgot about that third base in the back for a second. I saw the Adept going down. I'm like, no, is that actually at the Protoss' natural?
But that was a lot of damage in here from these Hellions. I mean, 9 probes in total going down, and herO now at a worker deficit where typically, you know, Protoss with their chrono boosts and potentially faster Nexus will be expecting to have a little bit of a worker lead. And I mean, the unit's lost tab just kind of tells the story there where Bunny got the much better trade to start things out. Now, let's see if herO's able to get any damage done with these Phoenixes. I think he only has about 2 lives because he did spend that energy to defend back at home, and Bunny has some like insane number of Widow Mines out on the field right now, I think. I mean, we briefly saw the unit tab, but I think he had like 5,
yeah.
which is a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of Widow Mines. He has more Widow Mines than Marines.
Yeah. He's going to try to come up here. I mean, there's almost nowhere that's actually safe. So, I mean, it's going to be up to herO to be very, very cautious. And, you know, herO is an aggressive player. He does like to try to find and force opportunities. And maybe he's got one over here. Oh, my God. Almost gets into the main there. Good block. Good deflection there with the depot.
This is some really nice maneuvering over here by herO, just replacing those Adepts. Oh, Widow Mine. Oh, for a second, I thought the shot from the Cyclone coming out was a Widow Mine tracking beam. And I was like, wait, that range is insane. Yeah, some nice SCV damage here for herO as he's evening the worker count just a bit. And this is an awkward spot for Bunny. I mean, he invested so many resources in those Widow Mines. Now coming in for the drop in the main base.
No.
herO is unaware.
He's just not looking, and that is going to be 10 probes killed. And, you know, it's great that these Phoenixes and Adepts are in here, but that is so many workers picked off, and just, I don't see an opportunity for the Protoss right now.
Yeah,
another Widow Mine drop here.
This is such a low eco game. There is no armory out for Bunny just yet, so herO, without detection, able to clean up those Widow Mines from his base. But man, I mean, he must have lost like, what, 15, 16, maybe even 17 probes so far, and we're only at the 6-minute mark. He's really got to get something done with these Adepts and Phoenixes.
I mean, the question is, how will he get really anything done right now? You know, Terran's position is so tight right now. The Widow Mine spread is so good. Another Widow Mine.
Oh, going in.
No scopes it right down there. So he's going to try to force a fight. Widow Mine does connect onto the Phoenixes and is then scooped up and picked off.
Yeah, Phoenix is lifting the Cyclones here, going to try and take those out. The Marines are slowly whittling away at the Adepts. Only 2 left on the ground as herO now out of Phoenix energy, going to have to.
It's just Phoenixes now. I mean, it's just not. If Phoenix has no energy, you're just not going to do anything here. And the Adept count is low enough. I think that Terran could kind of crank out just enough to sort of deal with this. I guess he could try to find whatever he can find, you know, like medevacs and stuff like that. Stim's going to finish. Infantry level 1. Weapons is going to finish.
Yeah, once those upgrades are done, these Marines are a lot scarier on the ground.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, the reality is that there's just not that much of a ground army right now. Most of the supply, an army supply here, for herO is in the Phoenixes that we're watching.
If he's going to come over here and try and take another fight with the 3 Adepts that just warped in, trades them out for Marines, which, I mean, you do kind of want to chip away at the bio army count for Bunny here because herO's going to be hard-pressed to have any splash damage up for the next coming minutes. And I think at this point he kind of recognizes that this harassment isn't going to get much more done, even almost losing another Phoenix there. And he's starting his Twilight Council, he's adding gateways, actually 3 more gates, 4 more gates. He might be fully committing to an attack here.
Yeah, well, this is one way to do it from herO, is to basically just not even try to expand. It's almost counterintuitive for what the map is, because the third base is so easy to take on this map, assuming you take that free base in the back.
Right.
But
I think he might just be afraid that, you know, he lost so many workers early. It was like 15+ probes that went down, and Bunny's third base is faster, and his standing army is already better and higher tech, that he kind of has to make some Hail Mary play to come back in this game. And that's going to be the choice from him. Actually sending a probe down to the third base. Huh. I wonder if this is a fake, because that's a lot of investment in early gateways and Chrono boosting out Storm. Man, what a clutch Reaper. Like, who sends a Reaper at this stage of the game, man? He's going to get a full scout.
I can't even believe this.
He's going to check the third base.
Now, he did put a probe back there. That was all for looks. Ideally, the probe's back there for a scan. So then they'd see them, they go, oh, okay, he's about to expand. He just hasn't taken it yet.
Like, what Terran goes with like an 830 Reaper scout? And he gets so much value out of it. You see Storm being chrono boosted. He saw that, like, there might be a probe at the third base, but there's no Nexus just yet. He has a very good idea of exactly what the game state is right now. And I mean, Bunny's got to be feeling good, knowing this is the situation, because he's pretty far ahead. All the damage done already. I mean, even more Phoenix is going down. Yes, herO does get 3 SCVs, but besides Storm, Phoenix is really the only kind of high-tech unit he has. Like, that is his army there, the natural expansion. It's a handful of Zealots, a Sentry, and a couple of Templars. So herO's not in the best spot.
Now, I mean, it seems like the game will probably quiet down a little bit here. The third base is being taken. We do have Terran moving out of the map. Maybe I'm wrong, actually. Maybe he can actually just come in here for a timing attack. I guess if he did get the confirmation that a third Nexus started and it wasn't a fake, which it wasn't because he's now got that coming here, maybe you look at these Phoenixes and go, you know, I'm not really scared of these. These can never fight my army if we're all together. And we know that the Protoss' ground army, it's kind of flimsy. It's kind of dated for how long of a game this has become.
Yeah, Storms are going to be absolutely critical here for herO. Poor Storm gets a lot of damage on the Marines, but only one goes down.
Yeah, and if Protoss can't handle the fight out here, if he goes behind his structures, he's also going to be kind of walled out from fighting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you really don't want to take that fight. Another nice Storm there on the right side, but Bunny just has so much here, and this Widowmine spread is absolutely insane at the top. Another nice Storm. I mean, he's doing the best he can to try and get the grouped up bio, but look at this spread and split here for Bunny, just in complete control of the fight, and now it's almost only Templar left for herO.
This is kind of insane right now. Some Storms are coming down. The army's getting thinned out. Is there enough back here to kind of fend off these Zealots? It seems like he just barely has enough. The Zealots themselves can't really retreat. There are units parading down here. He basically has all of his rallies over here in this position.
Ghost coming in now too, and herO knows it.
Bunny looking very strong. I got to say, these are fun games.
Yeah, these
are really action-packed games. A lot going on here.
Yeah, we came into today knowing this is going to be, you know, the highlight moment from day 2 of Super Tournament. herO versus Bunny, the rematch for the DreamHack Atlanta Finals, and
I think herO can still turn this around.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any one thing he's doing wrong, but these are pretty abstract games, by the way.
Yeah, they're kind of...
Maybe not from Bunny game 1. Game 1 from Bunny was pretty conservative, but...
Game 2 was pretty straightforward, too. I mean, like, yeah, there is a proxy starport, but that's not really too crazy. Like, you make a medevac and then you go home.
Yeah, but
right?
I mean, the late warp gate and everything, I mean, that was fun.
Yeah, from herO, it's been quite creative.
Yes, it's been very out there. Well, herO tried to dial it back in a more traditional play. I'm not so sure. Stargazers is going to be map number 3 here as we go forward here with herO versus Bunny. Again, if Bunny wins here, he's moving on to the round of 8. If herO can win here, he will at least start that comeback. And that'll be the first step in a really long road ahead here if he's going to reverse this. Anyways, guys, game 3 starts now.
Game start. Protoss, herO. Terran, Bunny.
Oh my god.
Oh my okay, god. You guys aren't seeing this on screen, but there was a worker high 5 in the middle of the map.
Yeah, herO pretty much sent this probe out immediately. I'm quite sure he sent it out before Pylon, and Bunny sent an SCV out as well. So this guy's kind of having the same idea here, and now instead just both going to build their production back at home.
Yeah, they both decide to quit. The probe of herO is going to stalk the SCV of Bunny. And,
so funny.
Yeah, they both were having dirtbag plays to start this out.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that happens when you go from like best of 7 grand finals to like best of 5 within like a 2 or 3 week span, where the games kind of get a little bit crazier and crazier as you progress, right? And so Bunny's gonna instead use this as I don't know if this was his original plan with this one, to go for this engineering bay block.
It could be. I mean, that's one of the plays you have if you try to send the worker out really early on. It could be impromptu as well. But 4 is the number where the SCV can't build this as fast as the SCV can't build as fast as the probes will damage it. So
yeah, probes can also get a really nice surround there on the engineering base. So like every way the SCV kind of dances around as it's building, it's going to take some damage.
It'll get hit from one of those 4 probes.
Yeah, and we actually saw this from Bunny in DreamHack finals as well, where he went for a bunker behind the Nexus and actually did get it up. He was able to clean it up eventually, but we'll see if, yeah, there it is on the minimap. Bunny going for the same thing again.
I'm kind of surprised he's going to go for this once more, but I guess this is just in the build, right? It doesn't matter if you experienced it or not.
I mean, the opportunity cost is like, a lot of it's been spent already, you know? Like, he already has the SCV on the map. It's going to take a million years to get back home and start mining anyway, so it's like, yeah, you build it. I mean, if he finds it, you cancel it. if he finds it later, you salvage it. It's not much of investment. Just going to delay the production back at home just a bit. Is now the Reaper coming into the main base, gets to see that Adept at the proper timing, does not see the Starport tech, and Bunny does not really care about hiding this at all, just immediately showing his hand there, has that bunker at the natural expansion, and that's going to be a bit annoying.
Honestly, this is a pretty good start here for Bunny.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
When you get the bunker up and, you know, herO's already down 2 games, and it's kind of an annoying start here. There's no way to take advantage of that Nexus right now, so you can't have your extra workers mine over there.
And you also derailed the opening plan from herO as well. Like, he did not send that first probe out with the intention of following an SCV, right? He wanted to do some proxy shenanigans, so. And looking nice for Bunny. He's got to be happy with this game so far. As now herO mining out the backdoor expansion minerals. This Nexus still completely useless, just producing probes.
Yeah, and he's got this one Reaper on the side to maybe try to catch or kill or any worker coming out, or nade the ramp and kind of control it that way. These Adepts are going to come down, and he'll very quickly just get inside this bunker.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't too much to be done here. The Reaper's going to slowly chip away at these units, but... Oh! Scary for a moment. Really wanted to throw that grenade.
So you're going to lose that Adept? Okay.
I would be surprised.
I feel like that's not the way to do it. You want to lose just shields, not HP there.
I feel like maybe, I think herO just wants to get rid of the bunker as fast as possible.
He's just so focused on getting it down. It's not about,
like, if you don't have a battery, it's kind of a worse situation where, like, you're microing the Adepts back, so you're not killing the bunker that quickly.
That's a good
as
point.
a result, like, the Reapers can start, like, targeting your probes, which is just so annoying. So maybe herO just deciding, like, it's not really worth the extra, like, 60 HP or whatever it is.
Yeah, time is more important than, you know, perfection here.
Oh, no.
Oh, now that's bad.
Yeah,
the Cyclones have a range of a computer screen. So
I think it's actually more than the screen.
It's got to be more than a screen.
Yeah.
No, you know, as long as I've casted this game, even now, there's times where I see a Cyclone fire and I'm like, damn, that shoots really far.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And that was a really unfortunate position for herO too, is there wasn't really a way for the Oracle to fly away where Bunny would lose vision, you know? Like, it's really tight back there behind the natural expansion of the main base for Bunny, so doesn't even need to get a scan to kill it. And herO, for his trouble, did get to pick off that Viking here with these Phoenixes, and he's continuing to build them as well. Going to 3rd Nexus, Twilight Council considerably faster than it was in the last game. Actually, nice Widowmine there. Does take 1 Phoenix out.
Stim has started now, but herO already taken his 3rd base. Bunny's like to do a lot of timing pushes here.
Yeah, he's been having some success with 2-base timings against herO.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a good spot to do a 2-base timing push where that 3rd base is being taken now.
Yeah, there's potential there. I mean, you could set up siege tanks behind those minerals, right? But
yeah,
it is just kind of awkward fighting in that spot because you're not really going to have, like, the SCVs to mine out the minerals. So if you want to get in, you have to dropship micro, and then suddenly it's just kind of awkward the way you have to finesse and manage your army a little bit. So we'll see if he decides to go for a play like that or if he decides to push up into the front natural expansion. And I'm a little bit worried for herO here because he did invest into 5 Phoenixes, I think. 1 got taken out by that Widowmine, and that's not too good at stopping a tank bio push. which Bunny is one of the best in the world at executing. So we'll see exactly how this goes. herO is slowly working his way up towards Templar Tech in addition to Charge Zealots. But so far, I mean, his economy not as interrupted as it was in the previous match.
No, certainly not. I mean, he's in okay shape. That was a close call, by the way. Yeah. Those 2 Widow Mines there. He's really hoping that, you know, an overeager herO is just going to try to jettison in there. And it could still happen as we see this attack coming out. Stim's about to finish, +1 attack's about to finish. Now, again, this game, I think, has been better for herO. There's been some, you know, bad moments here as well, but this is going to be a real test here. Can he hold his natural?
Yeah, and that is so many Marines.
Yeah.
Like this is like an almost pure Marine army.
Now, there's a lot of Widow Mines. He might try to use the Phoenixes to drag Widow Mine hits in.
You know, originally I was thinking this was a tank push, but because we just are so accustomed to seeing that. But this is an almost pure Marine Widow Mine. It's kind of crazy. Now he's going to hit a really fast timing before Templar are out with Storm.
It's not like there's a Colossus here to disable, so maybe auto turrets are the way to go.
Could also try and shed the armor, maybe.
Sure, that's acceptable as well. Small number of adepts are going to come around. They're going to be spotted. They're going to be chased by these medevacs. I guess it's all on one control group, actually. So this is a pretty smart move. Basically, Bunny isn't that confident that he could take this fight, so he's not going to take it. Now, there's some more infantry from the Protoss side of things coming out. He doesn't know how many Widow Mines are out there. He sees 2, but there's actually 4. Yeah. And, you know, one thing with Marines is they can snipe stuff down before they really hit their moment.
I love that play.
That
Gets 2 of the Widow Mines with Hallucinating Phoenixes, then charges in. Guardian Shield and Zealots pushing forward. That's a lot of bio. Nice force fields. Able to catch a handful of Marines and Marauders.
Kind of a weird force field there, to be honest. They kind of slip through the edges there. I don't know. I think Bunny may be a little bit too far in here. The Widow Mines are going to come down. This is a really good angle to try to connect that. And this is a real tug of war right now. Again, keeping the Archons alive is so important here. The Archons are a little bit slower than everything, so they do slowly get pulled into the bag. Now in range of shield batteries, more reinforcements coming in.
I like the way that herO is taking these engagements where he just kind of pounces on Bunny's army, tries to chip away, get as many of the bio down as possible, and then retreat back to the shield batteries to replenish the shields of the Archons while only really trading Zealots, because I don't think he has Storm right now. I think that's why he's morphing all these Archons. So he's really on a clock. He cannot let Bunny get a huge ball of bio out, because that will scale better than the army that he's building at home. He needs splash damage, or he needs to take smaller fights.
Okay, a lot more Widow Mines put down here. Keep in mind the Phoenix count is a lot lower. And I don't know how much energy is in these sentries to the point where he might be able to actually use Hallucinate to drag some of those mine hits in here. So here we go. Pretty good splitting here on those Zealots, but again, the Zealot number drops low enough that makes me a little bit worried. Not a lot of cushion there for the Immortal and the Archons.
And only a handful of force fields left, and he spent some to get just a handful of Marines, so herO is doing a good job of keeping the bio count under control, but it's still kind of a scary position here. I mean, his army is 9 Zealots and 5 Archons, which it's not the best, especially once these Widow Mines finally get set up and protected. I mean, a couple big hits from Widow Mines could be deadly here for herO's army.
Okay, he's starting to chip off the Archons here. The Archons are still kind of awkwardly in the front, by the way.
Yeah.
This is easier said than done to try to maneuver that. I mean, especially when you have it all on one control group here. But he's starting to inch in here with the mines. Third base is healthy. By the way, fourth base right now for Protoss is impossible. But, oh.
That hurts.
Yeah, that was almost better for Bunny with the force fields, the way that ended up.
herO really needed to shave off some units there with those force fields. He warped in a bunch of sentries because he knows that he needs to kind of catch some bio to actually be able to kill it. Otherwise, he's just going to continuously be kited into these Widow Mines. And even Ghost now entering the fray, those Archons are going to quickly lose their value.
Now, there's a warp-in up here above this. And he's going to try to come in here for a surround. There's going to be a lot of Widow Mine hits as the dust settles. There's still a couple more Zealots, but not enough to keep that push going forward here. Some juggling with the Archons.
Disruptor is out. The Disruptor Bolt coming out. Nice hit there. Gets a handful of Marauders and some Widow Mines.
That was a good dodge for Bunny, though, to do that little U-turn there.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of time to react to that one. The first Disruptor kind of caught him by surprise, but nice crisis management. And this fight, although it looks quite even here in the middle of the map on herO's side, the Disruptor goes down too.
It just walked right into the rest of the infantry.
Yeah, and this fight, although it looks even, the army supply for Bunny right now is double. He's just parade pushing this. It feels like he's replenishing his army so much faster than herO is, and man, we might be seeing a 3-0 tasteless.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad right now. The push comes forward, and I think we're at that snowballing moment here. There is no way that herO's going to survive this, and with a stunning victory, Bunny is going to take this series 3-0.
Yeah. Wow, what a phenomenal performance out of Bunny. Beating the DreamHack champion, getting his revenge here at GSL Super Tournament and advancing to the next round.
I gotta say, man, I'm blown away. And you know, these are fun games too. It is kind of weird seeing herO, you know, drop off as soon as he has his first best of 5, but Bunny is somebody we can really be excited by. And you know, one thing about Terran right now, especially in Korea, is Mario, he kind of steals the show.
He does.
Right? I mean, you know, we've got great play. We've had herO look phenomenal, but Bunny, man, he looks really good. He's kind of found his own voice in how to play the game. Let's see what he wants to say now that he has beaten herO 3-0 and is moving on into the round of 8.
Wow, what a performance from Bunny. Bunny defeats herO 3-0 and moves on to round of 8. Congratulations, thank you. Wow, 3-0, we could have not predicted that, Bunny. So this was your revenge match against herO after the DreamHack Atlanta. So how do you feel right now? So last week in the finals, I lost to him. And today I beat him. And you know, I think the disappointment from last week is only growing right now. But you did take him down today, Bunny. What an amazing performance from you. I mean, your momentum is looking so good right now. And I feel like you learned a lot after the DreamHack experience. And this is definitely a fruition of your effort over the years. I mean, back in the past when I used to not get good results, I think all that experience has built up to this moment. I mean, you really need to take down herO today, and you did. I mean, every game you're so aggressive, you're hitting him from every angle. And did you know when you were going to win against him? I mean, I did know that if I just pushed it, I would be able to just infiltrate his base. I mean, an opponent you had to defeat today, you did defeat him. I mean, is there not an intimidating opponent for you now? I mean, there are so many. I mean, even for the next game, I'm gonna have to prepare thoroughly and try to defeat whoever comes my way. Alright, now let's talk about the Zerg. In GSL Season 3, Su took down Rainer, and Su took down, no, not Su, DRG took him down. So, do you prefer DRG as your next opponent? You know, I tend to avoid playing against my teammate, so I do want to play against Ryung instead. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't really care whoever gets decided as my opponent. But I definitely prefer to play against a Zerg than a TVT. To further elaborate, if you were to move on to round of 4, there are so many Zergs available on the other side of the bracket. There's Dark, there's Su, there's DRG, and there's RagnaroK. I mean, I've never defeated Dark in the past, so I don't want to play against Dark for sure. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to build on my confidence until the round of 4. You're definitely one of the favorites to take out the whole tournament now. And this Super Tournament, you've been to the round of 4, you've been a runner-up. Now it's time for you to win the GSL Super Tournament, right? I mean, last week I went to the finals of a Premier Tournament for the first time. And you know, I had a lot of disappointment. I'll try to wash away this disappointment in this Super Tournament. And that was it from Bunny, who just beat herO. Congratulations, Bunny. Thank you. And that's it with the interview with Bunny. And now we're going to take a short break before we get into the next match. The next match is going to be between DRG and Ryung. Please tune in.